All right, whoa. Maybe we should make a video about how to sit down gracefully. So we're going to talk about having an ace in the hole, and this is a sparring idea. And it works like this. You develop a thing that's kind of unorthodox, and it is something that you don't normally do as part of your regular strategy and way of sparring. But if you're really getting dusted, if you're just getting knocked around by somebody and nothing you're doing is working and you are clearly losing, and you would prefer not to lose, you might bust out this thing that has like a 10% chance of working. But if it works, it can turn the tide. I was sparring a guy in a tournament one time. It was like 20 years ago now, man. But I had trained for this tournament with a buddy, and we ended up going to it and didn't have a lot of experience in this. And, you know, I started fighting this kid, and like this dude was so fast. Like, he started throwing these round kicks, pop, 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 and they were like that. and I was like, oh man, what did I get myself into? So I started sparring him, and I'm doing okay. I'm kind of hanging with him. And then I had this ace in the hole move, and end up throwing it, and like pretty much luck, right? Like a 2 out of 10, shot at making this work. But it's big jump, spinny, turny, hook kick sort of thing, and it went right across his head, and you could tell like at that moment, like that he just couldn't believe that had happened, and like he was pretty demoralized, and ended up beating this kid that, like, in all honesty, he was way better than me, and he'd probably beat me like 9 out of 10 times. But you got that ace in the hole move. Plus, it's just kind of fun to work on these kinds of things. I'll give you 3 ideas, but this is by no means limited to 3 things. I do think it's important that it's something that you don't always do, that people aren't totally ready for because you're like nonstop pulling it out and everybody gets to see it all the time. It should be something that you do when you're in trouble, okay? So here, I'll show you the one that I always really liked. Is based off a round kick fake. So you throw your round kick, and obviously you're round kicking all the time anyway. So you throw your round kick, and the idea is that you lift and you don't throw it, and at this point you jump up and you throw your spin hook with the other leg. But you do that in a smooth motion, and you might even get a little bit of air time on it as you do it. All right, so that's called a skip hook kick, faking the round kick, jumping off one leg, and throwing your spin hook. All right, so that was the one I always like to do. I think a couple other good ideas. Your tornado kick, which is really thought of as a demo team, show off kind of move, has its origin in sparring, right? And it's where you've thrown some spins, right? You've thrown some spins, but then you fake a spin, you come around, you lift as if you're going to throw that spin, but then as this comes around, you jump and you round kick with that other leg. And I think that especially is effective if you've thrown the spin to the body a bunch of times, right? Like if I keep coming around, boom, and going to the body, and then I show that, like, okay, here comes the spin here, and I've got somebody thinking low, boom, and I switch round kick and come up to the head with it. So you could use tornado as your ace in the hole. Another one that is a little less athletic but pretty sneaky is just the spinning round kick, right? Spinning round kick. So spin kick is done with the back leg turning backwards, right? So you get all this momentum going one way. So momentum is going this way, but I'm going to chamber up, wham, and I actually threw that kick conflicting with the momentum that I generated on the spin. So it's very hard to see that coming. It's very hard to defend against it. So I'm here, I spin tight one way, right? Feels like the kick's coming over here, boom, but I throw it back that way against the direction of the spin. Pretty unexpected, right? Spinning round kick. I think those are 3 pretty good options. I think a flying side kick could actually be done. You want to be careful with that. With if you have body weight, that's hard to control. But the idea that you come up and then you lift your arms and you lift your leg, you get up in the air. Your opponent, of course, because you're jumping and everything about your intention is rising, right? That they think, oh no, and they come up this way, and what they end up doing is just leaning back and showing you their ribs on this beautiful angle where you can side kick down on top of that. So I would be lifting and coming down underneath somebody's raised up guard. Right, I'm lifting up, oh, here it comes, and I get a little bit up in the air, and I just go body instead of head. It's not that you can never do any of those things in your regular sparring, and especially if you were like super athletic and you like to kick a lot, go ahead and bust those things out. The ones that are fakes, certainly you'd want to set up first by doing, if you're going to do your skip hook kick, throw a bunch of round kicks to the body first. If you're going to do your tornado, throw a bunch of spin side kicks to the body first before you bust out that. If you just do that right off the bat, nobody will have a reason to react, and it won't be set up properly. So, I prefer those moves as an ace in the hole. Do it when nothing else is working, and you want to turn the tide back in your direction. But if you're going to do them other times, make sure you set them up. And also, man, sky's the limit with this. Just limited by your imagination. There are all kinds of other things that I probably just can't pull off, and so I'm not showing them to you right now. But that doesn't mean that you can't do them. So have that and call it that. Like I had that skip hook kick, and to me, I in my mind, I call it. That's my ace in the hole. I don't do that all the time, but I'm going to do it if I'm ever in trouble in a sparring match. Okay, take that and run with it, guys. Nice job today.